Okay, I figured I would go ahead and get this out of the way since we're about to have the next episode of Digital Circus come out in March. So, my theories. I have so many. I don't want to make this video too long, but that's also not really in my control. But I have a major theory that I know a lot of people have talked about, but I am standing so strong by the evidence that I have for this theory that I need to get it out now. I want to get this video up before the next episode of Digital Circus comes out, because we're going to get answers to questions in the next episode, and I want to be the one to yell, "Ha! I told you so!" So if you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Nightwing, and today I'm going to be a junior MatPat as I discuss my theory for Digital Circus Episode 7. Like I said, I have many thoughts and theories for this episode, but there is one major theory that I have concluded that I need to get out now. So allow me to explain. Obviously, at the end of episode 7, it was revealed that the entire episode and the whole thing with CNA, it was all an adventure. Kane made the entire thing up and set the cast up, and their dreams were crushed at the end of the episode. And mine were too. So everything he said about CNA with like the pods and the office and everything like that, Abel being an employee, Kinger being an employee, it was nothing. None of that happened. It was all fake. Or was it? Now, I know, there have been plenty of people talking about this online as well, but hear me out. I have evidence that I have gathered from the episodes, and I wanted to talk about it. So first off, at the very end of the episode, Kane told the cast that it was all an adventure, so that means basically every clue leading up to CNA that we've gathered throughout the show basically just isn't true. It didn't matter. It isn't real. No way, no how. End of the story, right there. However, I think not, sir. I still have a strong leading suspicion that CNA does in fact exist. Kane is just a liar. I love him, but you're getting on my nerves. So obviously, as we've seen throughout the show, there have been little clues and details leading up to CNA, which is an office space that a lot of people predict stand for Kane and Abel, which was confirmed to be true as we saw on the side of a gun that Jax is holding in episode 6, it did in fact say Kane and Abel. And obviously now we actually have an Abel to go with our Kane, so it was in fact determined to be true. So, CNA, Kane and Abel, easy enough, story from the Bible, boom, done. But the fact is, what is CNA? As the show describes, CNA is an office and a company that made the Digital Circus, and a lot of people predict that it was also the same company that made Kane, which would make sense. But the thing is, at the end of episode 7, Kane confirmed that it was all an adventure, meaning it was fake. But I don't think so. I think CNA truly does exist, and here's why. If we go back and look at the scene where Jax and Kane are at the restaurant together, there's one particular scene where Kane is showing Jax pictures with Polaroids of an office space, saying that he doesn't know the location, but he wants to accurately recreate it. We can obviously see that these pictures are from the real world, where all of our main cast is from, the one we live in. And if you look closely at those pictures and some other pictures that you see in the past, like in episode 6, it does in fact say C&A on the walls and computers in the pictures. This is enough proof as it is to show that CNA does exist, because we can see the way Kane looks at these pictures. It's clear that he didn't generate them himself. He wants to learn what this is and how to recreate it. So if he wants to recreate something, then something has to exist first. So if he recreated CNA in the game, then it has to exist in the real world. It's kind of like an artist when you're drawing something. You have to have a reference of something to go off of in order to recreate it. Like how I do with a bunch of my poses. This is exactly the same thing that Kane's doing. He has a template, now all he has to do is recreate it. And since the template is C&A, it's a real company in the real world that really does exist. Can you guys tell that I have had this theory for a while and then I'm just blurting it all out at this point? Can you tell? Can you tell I'm going insane? Now I know what you guys are gonna say. Abel was an NPC, Abel was fake, Abel was part of the adventure. Listen, I know that. Obviously, we all do. But I have a theory that Abel actually was trying to help them. This could go in many different ways, but here's a few that I've come up with. The first Abel that we actually see helping Pomni, Ragatha, Jax, that was actually the real Abel. He was in fact a human, and he actually did in fact work for CNA. But after he shot Pomni into the little air balloon, maybe Kane actually found him and did something to him. I'm not sure if he either took him away or made sure he couldn't get to the cast again, and so he recreated Abel as an NPC to give off the effect that it was an adventure. This would be in Kane's nature to do. I see it 100%. Theory number 2 that I just came up with as I'm recording this. We can obviously see that Kane has the ability to alter people's minds. We've seen this in the show despite the fact him saying that he doesn't have that ability. If this Abel really is the true Abel, maybe Kane altered Abel's mind to say that he was an NPC and that this was all an adventure, right before killing him off at the last second. Haha, very clever, Gooseworks. Kane kills his brother Abel. We get it. Now, if this does happen to be true and Abel was in fact part of the circus, there's this crazy thing I saw on Twitter one day that I think would be insane if we saw this in the show. When we go back to the doors with the bedrooms, we can see that every character has a door and their picture is on the door. We obviously see this, and if you're abstracted, there's a red X over it. We see this with Kaufmo and Rivet. But we also see plenty of doors with blank mannequins, similar to the ones we see in every adventure and to how Abel looks. Most of us kind of just assumed that that was just empty rooms that no players have occupied. But how crazy would that be if in the next episode we saw a blank mannequin room with a red X over it? Let that crap sink in. I had this crazy theory thanks to this fan art piece I saw on Twitter. Please make sure to go check out the original creator because they were so nice enough to let me use this art in my video. Thank you so much for this insane theory idea. This is genuinely genius. But with this information we have, how can this affect the future of Digital Circus? Well, if Kane in fact was lying about that being an adventure, that means the 2 buttons were in fact the way out of the circus, meaning the one that leads you to quote-unquote Shrimp Town means the actual world. And since Jax pressed the wrong button, what does this mean? What does this mean? Are they stuck there? Is there another way? What could this mean? If Abel is confirmed to be a real human, the cast is going to figure this out soon enough, meaning that they're going to continue finding a way out of the circus until they have to go up against Kane themselves. Or if that was an NPC and the real Abel is still somewhere in the circus, they're gonna have to locate him to try and get all the information out. But we obviously know Kane doesn't want these people to leave. We know that. He knows that. They know that. So I have a feeling that if the real way out of the circus is another way, they're gonna figure it out soon enough. Kane is gonna see it, he's gonna have to stop them, and I think Kinger's gonna die. I genuinely think Kinger's gonna die. I've seen a lot of theories speculating the game only ends when a king falls. The fact they're in a video game and he's a king chess piece and the floor is a checker print. Please don't die, Kinger. I love you too much. Since we're on the topic of how to leave the circus, I'm going to bring up a quick theory that I've had for a while. And I know a lot of people think this as well. But I feel like abstraction is truly the way out of the circus. We all assumed that abstraction would be something cold and painful like a bunch of the fan art I've seen, but after seeing episode 7, we discovered that it's actually quite peaceful for the person who is abstracting. Take Jax for example. He was about to abstract, but he didn't look at pain at all. He seemed relaxed. He seemed genuinely happy. And we know Jax, he's always putting a mask on and always masking his emotions. So the fact that he genuinely looked relaxed and at peace says something immensely. We also know that our friend Kaufmo did also go insane trying to find an exit. So maybe if Kaufmo truly was that obsessed with finding an exit, I think he achieved what he was trying to do. He did find the way out of the circus, which is why he abstracted. If Kaufmo is that smart to find out an exit, then obviously he would know what to do. So he purposely abstracted himself to get out of the circus, which is why we see that in the first episode. One last theory that I wanted to talk about, and that's the whole thing with Kane controlling people's minds. Kane obviously said in the first episode, the only thing I don't have control over is your minds, but that is proven over and over again to be false. We've seen this happen multiple times throughout the episodes where he does in fact alter or change someone's minds. The stupid sauce, Jax being a vegan, the whole thing in episode 6 where he put the information into Jax's brain, and I feel like he did this again in episode 7. Why? To prevent them from leaving. We saw Jax having flashbacks to his real life. Obviously, I don't know the whole circumstances with what happened, but he was driving, and it made Jax go insane that he rushed forward and pressed the wrong button so they wouldn't be able to escape. But if we look at Jax afterwards, he genuinely seems like he regretted it, or like he didn't mean to do that. Who made him do it? Kane! Yes, it was Kane. It was all Kane. Kane did everything here. I'm telling you right now. I think Kane made Jax freak out like that on purpose so he would rush forward and press the red button, preventing them from leaving the circus. Because if that was truly the way out, he wouldn't want them to escape, and since he has eyes everywhere, he obviously knew what was going on. So seeing that Jax was already a little freaked out by this, used him as a tool to prevent the cast from leaving the circus. And obviously afterwards, Jax picks up on this.
You made me... You got in my head. You just lie about everything, don't you?
You got in my head. Obviously he knows. And also, Kane didn't deny it. He kind of admitted that he can do stuff like that. And since he's been lying this whole time, he was probably only telling the half-truth. I have full confidence that Kane does have the ability to change these people's minds and make them do whatever he wants. It's like they're his puppets, and I have a feeling that this has been used in the past as well. For all we know, Kaufmo could have actually found the actual way out of the circus, but since Kane has eyes everywhere, obviously knew that Kaufmo found the way out, so he purposely got into his head and made him abstract so he couldn't tell the information to the other circus members. I mean, like, it's the smart thing to do. If Kaufmo knows too much, send him to the cellar. And I think as long as this happens, Kane is going to keep the people remained in the circus. And if they ever want to escape, it's going to take some serious thinking. Probably from someone who has a degree in computer science. Kinger. Kinger is the key here. He has given us so much information that we can use. From the fact that he can just make anything that he wants to because he made it up, the fact that he has the most smarts and brains in the circus despite him going crazy, and the fact that he has a degree in computer science, obviously he's how they're going to escape. If they can get him into a dark space long enough, they can hatch a plan so that they can leave. And I truly think that this is going to escalate a lot in these last 2 episodes. So boom, there you go. Most of Nightwing's theories wrapped up in a nutshell for The Amazing Digital Circus episode 7. I wanted to make this video sooner, and I did make it. It's just I lost all my media for it, and I was really discouraged by it, and I didn't really have the motivation to make it sooner. But seeing that February is almost over and the next episode is right around the corner, I figured I would go ahead and make it and get it out there. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you guys agree with my theories, if you have any other thoughts about them, I want to know. Please let me know, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Have a safe day or night wherever you are, and stay safe. God bless.